What is up, guys? It is the Bluebloods here, back with another interview, man. And we got one of my favorite players in the SWAC on today. Was our preseason all SWAC selection at the defensive tackle spot. Man, I thought he was super underrated last year on a really great Jackson State defensive line. 9.5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. Going to be one of the top contributors on a loaded Jackson State defense this year. We got my guy Devonta Davis on here with us, man. I appreciate you coming on the show.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So coming out of Alabama, man, you played Alabama high school football. I did too, and so I know a little bit about it. What was your recruiting experience like, though? Who was recruiting you the hardest? What was the whole process like for you?
Who recruited me the harder was either Jackson State and Alabama State, but I guess my option leaned to Jackson State more because they had gave me a full scholarship. Like everybody else was trying to give me half. So when they told me that they gave me a full scholarship, I was like, yeah, I can come play for them.
And I'm sure that even beyond that, man, what was it about the campus, the recruiting pitch, the coaches, some other players in your class? What were some of the other factors that played into your decision to lean toward Jackson State and eventually sign there?
Most definitely wanted to get out the state of Alabama. I wanted to get away from home, and I just felt like the campus was everybody that bonded together. Even the ones that came with me, we all bonded, and they went to separate high school, so we bonded close.
What were the biggest challenges you had to overcome? And a lot of people talk about that move from high school to college, man, is really hard for some players with just time management on the field, trying to get used to that college speed. What were some of the biggest challenges you had to overcome as a freshman?
Um, Working hard, like coming from high school to college, you understand everybody much stronger than you and much faster than you, and it's a more up tempo game than high school. So I had to get adjusted to the game and how to maneuver ways through college with classes and on the field.
And you guys were loaded last year on the defensive line, man. Yourself, Katron, Niles Gaddy, James Houston, Antoine Owens, the list goes on and on. How did you find your way into the rotation as a freshman, being a young player with all these guys that had more experience and everything? How were you able to make your impact as a freshman at Jackson State on the field?
My work ethic. I work hard every down. I don't like to too much lose a rep. And I just watched like I watched some of those guys just play and I seen what they were bringing. And I told myself that if I wanted to be a part of this team and be a part of the great defense, that I have to step up and do what I need to do in order to get on the field. So I did
And
that.
kind of building off of that a little bit, I asked Antoine when we had him on the show what made the defense so special, and he talked about chemistry with the D line in particular, where you guys were just all so close. How were y'all able to build that chemistry so fast on the defensive line and turn it into leading the country in sacks last year?
We to me, we all the same. Like we have the same motor. We all go getters. Um we just I feel like outside of football, we linked in much harder than other D linemen, I figure. So that's why I feel like that's why we had that chemistry and it came quick. It came less than a month.
That's what he said. I mean, he said that you guys spent so much time together and everyone was just like brothers on that
Yes.
in that front seven. And you guys put it together very quickly, man. You guys go and win a SWAC championship in your first season, you know, being at Jackson State. For you, what did it mean to you to see the journey, get to put on, I see you with the t-shirt on.
Yeah.
What did it mean to you to get that SWAC championship as a freshman?
Um it means a lot because coming from high school, my high school wasn't a winning program, but we always fought hard. So winning a sweat and for me being a freshman on the field, that means a lot. They're just like I always wanted to do that, but I ain't never think it would come true. So when we put in the work and we did all the extra stuff, extra lift and extra running, I knew we were gonna do it.
And I mean, you guys are the favorites to win it again. I know a lot of people are predicting you guys to go undefeated this upcoming season. What is the message in the locker room right now entering the 2022 season for the players and the coaches? Because as we both know, it's a lot different with the target on your back than it is that first championship. So is there pressure? What are the coaches preaching to you guys to get ready to be the hunted in the SWAC in 2022?
Um, we're gonna dominate this every day. This our motto. We're gonna dominate every day. So as we into the summer workouts right now, we dominate like attacking the day, dominate every phase of everything. So that's what I feel like we're gonna do this year. This upcoming season, we're gonna dominate.
And for you, I know the team goal is to go win another SWAC title and to get that Celebration Bowl win and end the season off in a high note. But for you personally, man, you had a big season your freshman year, now a preseason all conference selection. What are your goals that you want to achieve during the 2022 season?
Mm. I'm I'm aiming for defensive player of the year because I know I can do it. The top defensive lineman in the SWAC, and I want to be like how James had the 19 sacks. I want to establish that at a D tackle position.
Man, if you get 19 sacks from the defensive tackle position, man, that you're going to set the internet on fire on that one. But everyone knows you got the classics, you got the big games. Of course, FAMU's extremely hyped. The Southern game's coming up. You guys got a big matchup on homecoming against Campbell. If you had to pick a game or two on y'all's schedule right now that you're looking forward to the most, which games would you say?
Most definitely FAMU and Alabama State, just because that's where I'm from, and we going down there, and how they supposedly did us on their last homecoming, supposedly we gonna I'm ready for to see how it's gonna turn out this time.
They schedule y'all for homecoming again too, man. That's their
Yeah,
homecoming game this year. So that's a lot of people said that was disrespectful, and I know you guys are going to go down there and make a statement. But looking at your game, man, a lot of people love NFL comparisons. So for you, looking at yourself, which NFL player do you feel like you model your game after the most?
Aaron Donald for sure. Aaron Donald, just
No
because,
question.
no question, Aaron Donald. Like he has a motor and he's strong. I have a motor. I'm strong, and it just the way he'll go getter. Like he put everything aside when it's time to grind and hunt. He gonna do that, and that what I do.
Man, Aaron Donald is probably the gold standard in terms of defensive tackles too, man. Probably the GOAT at that defensive tackle position, man. But looking back, what was your welcome to college moment on the field where you were just like, okay, this is different. I got to handle my business and adjust to this?
Um, I think when we played at FAMU, when I've gotten the game and they cut me, like they cut me bad, but I ain't too much hands on it. I was like, oh okay, that how they playing. I just know I got to get right. And after that, I've been straight ever since. I've been watching how I do stuff.
Hey, I like it. And yeah, those cuts, listen, as from a former O lineman, they're dirty sometimes too.
Yeah,
And so I know that that gets on defensive tackles' nerves really, really bad, especially down there in the trenches. But
no doubt.
everyone has their own, superstitions. I was extremely superstitious as a player. I had to listen to the same set of songs in the same order every game. But for you, how do you get ready on game days, man? What's your pregame routine like?
Um, what I do before pregame, before we get out the bus, I get my headphones and I run a lap around the field. When I run a lap around the field, I do my stretches. Then I go before we get dressed and everything. I go sit in the corner by myself just to think about like all the family members that I have that like was had this spot or could have been in this position, but they passed. And I just give them a moment of silence, think about them for a minute, and after that, I'm ready to ride. I'm ready to play.
Hey man, I like it. I was the same way. I didn't like to talk to anybody. I just like to get in my own head and get ready to
Yeah,
go out there and play. But we both know, man, we both played in the trenches, how chippy it gets get going against the same guy all game long or the same group of guys. How big of a part is trash talking of your game?
I'm I'm quiet until a certain point until our offensive line be like, "Oh, you nothing." Then I might say a few words back. But me personally, I let my game speak for a lot of stuff, and I'm not too much big on trash talk because at the end of the day, as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and making you mad, so that means I'm doing something right.
Hey,
And then
that's a
they gonna throw them off their game, so that means I'm in your head and I can do whatever I control. I'm controlling you then.
Hey, that's true. And Antoine already threw out some names for me, man, because a lot of people were curious. For some reason, people love this question. Who's the biggest trash talker on Jackson State's defense right now?
Mm. I gotta say, the linebacker, my linebacker, 45. He gonna talk. He gonna talk to you.
That's what Antoine said. He said he never stops. He
Yeah,
said
he never.
all game you're hearing him.
Yeah, but I
Oh,
love it because the way, like, if he doing that, we can communicate way more.
that quarterback of the defense, man, for sure. And what got to meet Aubrey down at the Legacy Bowl. He came down there to support Antoine, great guy as well. But you don't have to give away all your secrets, man. There's a lot of offensive linemen that are going to be looking to try to stop you this year after the big season you had last year. But what's the number one mistake an offensive lineman can make against you one on one?
Mm, that's a mistake already. To be honest, you can't leave me one on one. Like to the way I am now, you can't leave me one on one on no alignment. You'll have to double me, but um, let me get a full head of steam.
It'd be over.
Yeah,
I love that answer though. He said the mistake is putting me one on one with somebody. There's nobody that can handle me one
no.
on one, and I love that. But looking back to last season, man, who were some of the best offensive players you had to go up against? That man that just were that gave you a run for your money last year.
Mm, but Thorne Cookman, they guarding their tackle.
Oh yeah, Savage. I think he's off to the NFL now, if I'm not mistaken. He great offensive lineman, man. But looking at your career, man, this could be on the field and off the field. What are your long term goals? What do you want to achieve before you graduate from Jackson State University?
Well, I'm finna graduate this spring, so what I want to achieve is, well, off the field, I want to get more into like my major, into where like I can find some internship after I graduate towards my major, and my major business accounting.
Okay. And the last question here, man. We saw James set the standard. You know what it means for him to go out there and be drafted, got taken by the Lions, is doing a great job in mini camp up there. If an NFL franchise asks you what they're going to get in Devonta Davis if they draft you in whatever draft you decide to come out in, what do you tell them?
I'm gonna tell them they're gonna get everything out of me. Like they're gonna get me being on time, me working hard, me fighting for a position, me just trying to get on the field. It's gonna be the best in me that they gonna get out of.
Hey man, I like it. I've been vocal on Twitter, man. A lot of people were talking D tackles. I was like, listen, Devontae Davis is the guy you got to watch out for next year, man. I'm expecting big things from you. Definitely going to be at a few games this year in Jackson as well, man. But this is all about promoting the players. This is why we do this for FCS players, man. I feel like a lot of you guys deserve a lot more recognition than you guys get, man. But let the people know where they can find you on social media, contact you for NIL deals, man, and any shout outs, messages you want to give. This time is yours.
All right. So okay, you can find me on Instagram at Devontae D97, on Twitter Devontae Davis 8. And in that NIL, anybody that wanna get in contact with me, do work, you can. My phone number, you'll get that when you hit me up on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm about to say, don't give out your phone number on the show, man. Tell them to DM you first.
Yeah, you'll get that when you get on Instagram. But I'm just ready to play. Shout out to my team. We ready to hunt.
Hey, I love the message, man. I know you guys are going to do big things, but guys, make sure to go follow Devonta on all social media, man. The bigger his platform gets, the bigger and better opportunities are going to come his way. And you're not going to want to miss as he goes for back-to-back SWAC championships and helps lead Jackson State to their first Celebration Bowl win in 2022. But guys, for Devonta, for myself, and for the Blue Bloods, we are out for right now.
All right.